Hello, Abnormal Family. Got another one for you. Don't forget the 2nd coming up. It will be the 2nd of February. We're going to be doing a visit with you guys on a live. It's going to be me and Sarah. We're going to have dinner with you guys. We're going to eat, visit with you guys, and talk about some things. We thought it'd be a little different and eat some good food. So dinner with us. Don't forget, it'll be on the 2nd at 7 o'clock p.m. Along the line of the Bigfoot activity I've encountered, I remember the most scariest event of 2003 in the summer, before my 11th birthday. It was dark and my family had a cookout for dinner, and there was a hen shack that was located northwest of my aunt's house, while north down the small stone-stepped slope to my grandparents' house, it was roughly 50 yards apart. Also, the pen had been abandoned for 4 years due to it getting broke into, and my uncle swore he saw a humanoid hairy man running to the forest, which was 70 yards away, and was horrid smell when the wind blew from where the creature had ran. He said it smelled like a wet dog and a dead corpse and fecal matter, and it was huge. So back to the story. Well, we had a fire going in the front yard, and we lived in a forested area in Oklahoma by the Ten Killer Lake area. We're singing along the sound of the radio, playing some classic rock and roll. Around 9, we heard a bang on the shack, which was maybe 30 yards away, nearly out of range of the security light. So we all agreed it was a branch. There was 8 of us there. I probably forgot to mention my grandparents, 2 aunts, and 2 cousins, and my sister, and I. So we continued to enjoy the tunes and enjoy some snacks when more bangs started to come louder, and the radio was up and the loudness began to pass the radio. We all got up, and my older aunt turned off the radio, and my youngest cousin ran to get the flashlight and his brother's .22 rifle. The banging lasted 3 minutes, and when it stopped, we all saw the most terrifying sight. Red-looking eyes shine back. The face got covered by its left arm before anyone could really catch a feature. The sound made next scared us all. The sound was terrible, except for my grandpa, who had told me about these creatures, and he also said they existed. It was a loud howl that made everyone's chest vibrate, and we had to cover our ears. And the smell was so terrible. We recognized the sound sounded a lot like the Sierra recordings, which made my younger aunt faint when played to her to see if it was a match. While the sound was blowing our ears, my older cousin shot his gun in the air, and it stopped and let out a long howl. And it started hitting the shack 4 times in a row. He then shot toward the shack, not actually shoot at it, but to let it be known we didn't want it, and we didn't want trouble in our area. That thing ran towards the forest. The vibrations could be felt from the running of it smashing its feet upon the ground. We gathered everything that needed to be taken in, and of course took it in. After the fire was put out, we all had to separate and go both to our houses. My older cousin watched my grandparents, and I hurried down the steps to go in. We all slept in the dining room, with the couches blocking the doors. We made sure our room doors were locked, and we had our keys to them in case the break-in happened by the creature. We didn't hear anything for a while that night, but then it started, the banging and the banging and the banging. And whenever we went to look out the windows, we could only see the shack. But the fire had died, and the light just did not reach far enough to see what was out there. The next morning when we awoke, we went to the shack, and what we found, it had tore the whole back end of the shack out and had shredded the inside of it. All the laying hens where they would sit in their boxes, it was shredded. Whatever it was not happy that we had shot at it, as it had tore almost the whole chicken house down. And mind you, these boards, some of them being 2x4s and 1x6s, were snapped with ease. That was the sound we had heard all night, was it destroying the chicken house. Now at night when we go to bed, We hear the howls off in the distance up in the hills, but it does keep its distance and does not come up to the house. Some of my friends have been trying to get me to go and hunt for it, and to try to find it and to try to find evidence. I believe it's better to leave it alone, as it's staying away from our house, so I feel we should stay away from its. What do you guys think? Well, I think number one, it was out at your chicken house, and when you fired at it, I'm sure you aggravated it. If you didn't maybe even hit it or hit one you didn't see, tearing your chicken house up was probably lucky that's all it done. If it's off in the hills and it's doing its own thing, I wouldn't go out bothering it, because you may end up bringing something to your house that you can't get rid of. I would leave it out there to do its thing. I wouldn't go out there and bring it up to your house, because you may cause yourself a whole lot of trouble. And maybe it will just move on, and if it doesn't move on, maybe it will respect your boundaries and you respect its. I would leave it alone. Put you some lights outside, maybe some more security lights. Put you some infrared trail cameras out, because they're supposed to be able to see the infrared, and make you a perimeter with your lights and the infrared cameras, and that should keep it at bay, I would hope. And that would be my first thing I would do. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate the likes, y'all smashing the likes. That means a lot. I love hearing from y'all in the comments, and of course, thank you so much for the donations for Hunter. We're getting ready to do a show coming up where we're going to give you some more information on what's going on. But thank you so much for doing that. The links are in the description. It means a lot to us, and God bless you guys for that. It really touches our hearts. Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And don't bring something up to your house that you may not be able to get rid of.